Look, I know. Very few of us, if any, have ever played this game. But they could reimagine the series. Maybe. Now, Ice Climbers is one of those series, as are many, that became super popular after Smash Bros. Shined a light on them. Well, more so the characters Popo and Nana. Everybody loves these characters. The distaste in Smash 4 over the exclusion of these characters is loud and clear, so you should all be on board for this. Nintendo brought back Kid Icarus after a long time of inactivity, so I think the same could be done here. This makes perfect sense, especially once you consider, as I've said before, the popularity of these characters due to Smash over the years, and the likely appearance of them in the newest installment on Switch. That is, if said rumors are to be true. Everything points to this series at least being given a chance. I think this could happen through one of two ways. The first being all too familiar to Nintendo at this point, giving the Ice Climber their own version of whatever two-dimensional side-scrolling idea that they can think of. As I'm not too particularly against this idea, not all games need to be a grand-scale concept, but this would have to be different from any other platform that Nintendo has ever done. Incorporate mechanics that make the game feel super challenging and set it apart from the day-to-day side-scroller. Maybe we can manipulate ice to get across places, control Popo and Nana with a separate joysticks on the Joy-Cons. Get creative. Look, there are a lot of indies that are absolutely killing the 2D side-scrolling platform space. Super Meat Boy, Shovel Knight, Celeste, Flint Hook. Point is, there are a lot of options out there for this style of play. Nintendo would have to modernize and reinvent the Ice Climbers to give them that standout potential, and above all else, create enough content to justify whatever price point they feel advantageous for a return. I'm not saying it couldn't be done, but what I'm saying is that it couldn't be half-assed. There's too much competition out here. Granted, no other aforementioned series has their representation on Smash the way Ice Climbers have had in the past, and potentially future, so there's that whole thing. The next idea I feel has a lot more personality and potential, and would set up to be a nice distinction for the Ice Climbers. We've spoken on this a few times in the past, but with Royale games being what they are right now, Nintendo could for sure capitalize and plan stake in this trend by giving us a survival Ice Climbers game, which, if this was to cost consumers, again, I'd have to see a solid product all around to give such incentive. Players will be set in a wide open, ridiculously huge map completely covered in ice and must fight against the elements and attempt to stay warm enough to survive. Maybe we could gather articles of clothing in certain locations on the map and slow the effects of the cold, or at times, harsh wind. Wildlife threatens to attack you, and at every turn, so you'd have to avoid the elements, animals, and other players as well. You've never seen a survival game like this one. Maybe we could also go solo, or in multiplayer situations, teams are set up of teams of two, so you and a friend take control of one of the original Ice Climbers, or you could pick two of the original other characters that debut in this game. That's right, we would introduce more Ice Climbers than just Popo and Nana, whomever they would be. Incorporating multiplayer would allow you to scale high mountains of ice easier than trying to do so alone, because when you're alone, that's it, by yourself, one character, and you'd have no computer to compensate and help you. This would encourage not good, but great teamwork. Of course, levels and ranks would still be a thing, but nothing that gives leverage to one side or one player overwhelmingly so, to the point where it's unfair. You know, you could still have cosmetics and things you can download and purchase, but as far as the essentials, this is purely skill-based. Yes, there's a rank system, but it's more of just a show-off. Like, you look what level I am, you look what rank I am. It's not a, I'm better than you'll ever be because you suck and you haven't had the game for as long as I have. Incorporating different modes would help keep things fresh as well. Of course, we have the deathmatch mode where freezing out your opponent always results in victory, knocking them into the way of a deadly creature, keeping them away from fire, you know, that kind of thing. Maybe we could also throw in some races along the frozen terrain as well, or maybe meeting at the center, like maybe it's the center's camp and that's where all the supplies are, and who knows. The point would be to give players these different options of play to keep things fresh and keep things interesting and keep us coming back for more, because this could really be an IP that Maybe it's another multiplayer fun kind of craze like a Splatoon or something in that vein where it's like, okay, maybe the solo isn't as fun, maybe the solo campaign isn't as complex and deep. Of course, Ice Climbers, you know, you wouldn't expect it to be. And I wouldn't argue that we do need more games that we can just jump to. Like, hey, you guys want to get on Smash? Hey, you guys want to get on Splatoon? Hey, you guys want to get on Ice Climbers? You know, you never know. It never hurts to keep adding to that kind of catalog as well. We always have our Breath of the Wilds. We always have our Mario Odysseys. We always have our solo, you know, big title games. Ice Climbers could easily sneak in there with the multiplayer fun that is, say, a Mario Kart, where you and a group of your buddies get together and just play some Ice Climbers, try to survive against whatever the elements are. I think this would be a really fun thing. What if the game also carried a day and night cycle, matches the time cycled so quickly and the environment changed and shifted, so that way the wind direction changes and it's harder to climb up this place, or maybe an avalanche comes and you gotta avoid it. I think having all these different elements would just make it so much more fun and difficult. It'd be honestly a hard game to compete in, but you have people in tournaments who are like, we're the ultimate team of two, we can survive in any type of condition. You know, that would be really cool to see. I'd get it, wouldn't you? I spoke before about how we'd be introducing new characters into the Ice Climber world, or realm, if you will. Even if there is no single player to a game like this, which you know I'm always for a single player, even if there wasn't, characters could probably still be unlocked through, like, say we get points every time we rank up. So that way we could have access to more characters, unlock those, more equipment, unlock those. You know, certain things would be cosmetic, as I said before. We don't want the game to cheat. Other things could give slight edge, like maybe a the slightest little bit of difference in, like, maybe the pickaxe, this one holds for a little bit longer than the other one does. That way you can traverse the ice a little better, but it's not going to be game breaking to that effect. I think that'd be cool. But what do you guys think about an Ice Climbers game for the Switch? Let me know if you think I'm just crazy. Is it delusional? Let me know if I'm delusional in the comments below. As always, be sure to check in every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time for videos just like this one. But if these are not your thing, be sure to check in every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time for the podcast that goes up every single week. I think this week coming up, we're on 22 now? 22 weeks in a row. Can you guys believe that? But as always, I want to see what you guys think about this Ice Climbers idea. Do you think Ice Climbers has any viability as far as being on the Switch? Is there any possibility, or is it just a series that is too far gone? And what do you think about the Ice Climbers coming back to Smash? I know it's a lot of questions. I want to see what you guys think about this, and I will see you guys on Saturday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am Logan of fanatixfour saying it's been a pleasure, and it always is.